So, welcome to Lucky Speaks. Shanghai Motor Show was recent, and so what we've noticed now is that all the paid shills for the Chinese motor companies are coming out in droves, writing all these articles about how fantastic electric cars from China are. Can I just remind people that when you buy a chair, like let's just say you buy an office chair these days, you never buy a chair that's made in one piece. It turns up, it's in a bloody box, isn't it, right? And so this chair that you're looking forward to sitting in, you then got the next 2 hours of trying to work out from some pretty shitty instructions how to put these things together. Eventually you kind of get it looking a bit like a chair. It kind of moves roughly where you want it to go, and you tip that hammer a few times, bend a few things in. You swap out the cheap Chinese metal things that as soon as you try and screw a screw in, the heads twist off, and so you replace them with proper screws. Actually made of metal rather than a little bit of tin with some paper in the middle. And the thing lasts for, if you're lucky, you might get a fortnight out of it, but pretty much it's the most uncomfortable crap you ever sat in, and biggest waste of money ever. And you can actually go to John Lewis and pay top money thinking you're going to get something different, and it's not. It's just the Chinese crap with a John Lewis sticker over the top, the made in China bit. So imagine what it's going to be like when you get your Chinese EV and you sit in your electric vehicle and all of a sudden it says, "Oh, it's getting hot in here." Run. I'll tell you what, no fire is as bright as a lithium battery fire. I can tell you that for nothing. I saw a quote. It said something like, anybody, manufacturers should be worried. People should be worried about Chinese manufacturers with EVs. They should be frightened of it. Yeah, absolutely bloody right. The fire service are the people most frightened of these EVs. I tell you, the fire service, because I tell you what, in China they are dumping them like in droves over there. They self-combust. They don't even have to be plugged in to self-combust. They just catch fire in the middle of the night, burn your house down, things like that. Insurance companies are catching on. Insurance companies, your premiums are going to go up. They realise you've got an electric car on your driveway, they're going to shit themselves enough. Tell them you park it in your garage and charge it in your garage at night. Oh my God. They'll have a coroner, I tell you. You'll be responsible for carry people jumping off of buildings. It's that bad. EVs are dangerous. They're not fit for purpose. The obvious thing, whenever anybody says, "Oh, well, you're talking bullshit, Steve, you're talking rubbish, oh, EVs. Yeah. Well, hold on a minute. The House of Parliament last week banned EVs from the car park. They're not allowed to park in the underground car park anymore with EVs because they're dangerous. They're a fire hazard. Health and safety have banned them from parking those cars. And when they do park them on the chargers that are outside the House of Parliament in the open air, they've got 4 chargers. 4, that's all, right? First off, the MPs have got to get themselves a little card which has a time they're allowed to charge it. They're only allowed to charge it at that particular time, no other time, for that particular period. Doesn't matter whether they get a full charge or not, that's what they've got. They've also got to move the car. The minute they're finished, they must move that car. They're not allowed to leave it by the charger. Why would that be? Fire risk, obviously. There's nothing else, is there? It's a fire risk. Chinese EVs are just cheap crap designed to fill a space in the market that really don't need filling because nobody's buying EVs anyway. Tesla, nice quality car, but they still catch fire. They still have their problems. The thing is, you've got to buy an EV if it suits you. For an EV to work in any way, shape or form, you need to be able to charge it at home on your little 3-pin charger overnight, which is 12 hours to get a full charge, all this sort of bullshit. And you need to be able to only travel within the range of the vehicle. Since most EVs, you're told, don't let it drop below 20% charge and don't let it go over 80% charge, the usable range is actually 60% of whatever they claim. So if they tell you to do 200 miles, no it won't. It'll go 120 because it'll do 60% of the range. Because if you charge either side of it, you're in trouble. All right? So you're going to get 120 miles. If you get one that pretends it's going to do 400, no it ain't. It's going to do 220, 230. it's not far enough, because if you think about it, if there's somewhere you want to go that's a distance away, you got to get there and get back, and you got to be able to cope with, whilst it's there, it's parked up, it's going to be using a bit of charge because the alarm's on, it's going to use a bit of charge because the computer's always running. You might use a bit of charge because you pop to the shop while you're there. How are you going to get home to charge it if you're too far away and you're outside the range? What happens when you get down to the last bit of your range and you're still on your way home? It becomes very expensive on a motorway charger. You'll pay more than someone filling up a car with diesel, pound for pound. So you've got to try and get home. You've got to be able to cope with it when it says you only got so much range and it's further than that home. You're going to risk it like you might a petrol? No, because it's electric. What it says is the range is probably down to the thing, what the range is. EVs are the answer to a question nobody's asking. We've already got a fantastic means of independent transport. The question is, why are they pushing EVs on us? It's the same thing when they were pushing masks on your face during COVID and all the rest of it. It's controlling you. And you got to wake up. Isn't it? It's no good watching the BBC and ITV. They're bullshitters. They're going to tell you whatever the government tell you to do. During COVID, they told you that COVID was the most dangerous thing in the world. It's killing everybody. But it fucking never did it. It never killed anybody hardly at all. The kill range of COVID was actually less than the normal flu. If you have flu, that was worse for you than COVID. The people that suffer from COVID were people that had an actual comorbidity that caused the problem. And COVID exacerbated that existing condition. Nothing to do with just getting COVID. I had COVID 3 times. How ill I've been. I had COVID 3 times, never even fucking knew I had it. It's total bollocks. It's the same thing with electric cars. They're there designed to hold you back. If you've got an electric car, you're now trained. You've got to stay within a certain range or it's going to cost you a fortune. And don't you remember what happened with diesel? Diesel was cheap until everybody had diesel cars. And then they suddenly miraculously found they got to charge 3 times as much for diesel. And everybody's car got more expensive than petrol. You could buy petrol cheaper per gallon than diesel. Petrol and diesel cars, cleanest things ever now. You can do 700 miles to a tank on a normal diesel. Christ, even my Ferrari gets a lot, 400 miles to the tank. It's cheaper than an EV to drive a Ferrari. How ridiculous is that? And these things are supposed to be the answer to everybody's prayers. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Don't believe a word of it. The government in this country and many other countries need to wake up, because they are purely trying to impose socialism or even Marxism on people. They don't want you travelling. They don't want you going where you want to, doing what you want to, being who you want to. They want to control it. And with electric cars, it's even the thing where everybody can turn around one day and say, you know what? Sorry, that Steve bloke, he's been chatting, that fucking Lucky Speaks. Oh my God, that channel, he got too many subscribers this week. Right, we switch his car off, he ain't going nowhere. Switch my car off for me. What am I going to do about it? I'm a hacker. I can't undo it. But I can't switch my Ferrari off. I can't switch my Ferrari off. I can't switch my Merc off. But they can switch your car off. They can switch your smart meter off. Just stop you using any electric at home. They can switch your bank accounts off if you go to digital currency. You may not be able to spend any money. What's your car proof if it don't work? Cash, you've always got it. But if no one accepts it, that's the problem. They're trying to take it away. There's lots of things going on in this world that we wouldn't have put up with 10 years ago. All of a sudden now we do. And it's wrong. So wake up. These idiots that are banging about Chinese EVs, they're being paid to say that. They don't, unless they're really stupid, they don't believe the bullshit they're coming out with. Chinese EVs are crap. They're cheap crap. Same as their cheap tables and cheap clothes and cheap everything that they do. It's all a load of shite. And more fool you if you fall for it, because I'll never have a crappy EV like that. I mean, if I was going to have one, I'd have to have a Tesla. I wouldn't even have one of those, because Elon's brilliant, but not for me. Not for me. I'm not going to be restricted by whether I've got a bit of charging error. Can borrow a couple of AA batteries and tap in the back of the bleeding car. Waste of bloody time. Not getting me doing that. I'm happy with the the alternative, which is petrol and diesel. There's enough petrol to last another 200-300 years in this world. So, and for all you climate bullshitters, let's get it straight, okay? The scientists have come out recently and they've said that there's 108 gigatons added in ice cover to the Arctic Circle every year for the last 3 years. So it's not warming up at all. It's global cooling, if anything. There's more ice there than there ever was before. It's getting bigger all the time. 108 gigatons. Now, a gigaton is, imagine Lizzo having her lunch, right? Well, Lizzo's lunch is about a gigaton. So that's 108 Lizzo dinners of ice being added to the Arctic. That's a lot of ice. That's a fucking lot of ice. Fat cow, isn't she? Fat cow. Anyway, before I get myself in trouble, get myself cancelled, that was Lucky Speaks' little rant for today about EVs and governments being bastards. Conspiracy theories are just theories that happen to come out 3 months before they become facts. All right? Just remember that. I can't remember the last conspiracy theory that I talked about 3 years ago that didn't come true. Sometimes it took 3 months, sometimes it took 3 years. All you people that knew me during COVID know I told you exactly what COVID was before they even made it a thing. Before February 10th in Italy, where Italy actually fell to having their biggest problem with COVID, I was already telling you it was a load of bollocks and they were going to use it to try and control you. I told you it was a lab leak. Everything I said was correct. And I'm correct now. So, Lucky Speaks. If you like it, share and subscribe. If you don't like me, great stuff. Tell me in the comments. The more comments I get, the better. Thanks very much.